Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today on leveraging AI for handwriting recognition and IDP. I'm sure this is not a new problem that any of you faced. Good morning to all our friends here in the US. Sorry, start again. I'm not really well prepared today, Ron, but I will try to pull it off. I have too many things on my mind, but good morning, everyone here in the US, and good afternoon to our customers and partners and other people joining from Europe. Thank you all for making the time to attend our webinar here today. We are looking forward to share with you on leveraging AI for handwriting recognition in IDP. At our last webinar, we showed you how the use of generative AI in IDP is helping us improve the ease of setup and simplicity in setup, and how it's accelerating the process of IDP with much higher levels of accuracy than what we've all experienced in this industry for a long time. And today we want to show you a smaller step in the process, which I'm sure this is a challenge that many of you have faced with a lot of your documents typically, which is handwriting recognition. We're not just going to show you constrained handwriting recognition today, which I know we've been doing using various technologies to do that for quite some time. But we are really going to get a little bit deeper and show you it with today's generative AI type, large language model type of technologies. We go well beyond that, and we are able to do unconstrained cursive handwriting with much greater accuracy than we've been used to. And this continues to be a problem for our customers because it could be just a few documents in a batch that are just IDP, or maybe even within a given document, there are a number of pages, and maybe there's one page in between which has some handwriting information. And if you can't extract that in an automated way using your IDP solution, then you're stuck in the process and you need human intervention before you can go past that. Or it could simply be applications that you thought would be ideal to digitize and extract the value of information in them in the past, but you have not been able to do it because it was just so labor intensive and human intensive that it would be a very expensive affair. And now with this technology, it opens up all of those possibilities. I have with me today, I'm Sushil John, the Chief Marketing Officer here at IBML, and I have with me today my colleague Ron Rinner. I'll let Ron make a quick introduction of him, and then we are ready to get started with the demo.
Thank you, Sushil. I'm Ron Rinner. I'm the Senior Software Solutions Engineer and Cloud Solutions Architect here at IBML. I have been in the industry for about 30 years, 10 of it here at IBML, and I'm really excited to show you this breakthrough innovation in handprint recognition.
Thanks, Ron. So what we want to do today is step you through a couple of demos. The first one, we want to kind of focus on records and archival applications, right? This is something we showed you a little bit of how easy it was to set up in our last webinar. In case you didn't get a chance to see our last webinar, please go to our website and you can still view the webinar from there. But we showed a little bit of how this application, and Ron is going to get a little bit deeper into that today in terms of showing its handwriting capabilities itself and how it's helping improve this application. But I'm sure every one of you on this call have had some applications in the past which was very heavy, or applications where you can extract more value of the information in these documents, but I've not attempted to do so because they were simply handwritten, and many times cursive handwritten documents. And that's all possible now with this, with the enablement or the empowerment of AI technologies in IDP itself. I'll pass this over to Ron now to show you that quick demo.
Thank you, Sushil. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And just making sure I'm looking at the correct one. There we go. And I'll go ahead and share. And we will dive right into IBML Cloud Capture. If you joined us for the last webinar, you probably remember that this was one of the last examples we showed you. And to Sushil's point, this for our records management folks, this type of application would normally have represented what I would have called a KFI, a key from image opportunity, because the only way to capture things like the bride's first, middle, and last name and the groom's first, middle, and last name was to pay an operator to sit there and dig through this file, trying to find those key points. And the beauty of our AI-based solution is that with simple prompts, we can have the AI read the entire document, the entire file, and then relentlessly find those data points. And the real interesting part, the really powerful part here on that last example we showed in the last webinar, was not only its ability to know what we meant by middle name without any code or any explanation, but to then be able to go and find that information as hand-printed information buried deep in the file. So for Catherine Marie Vallone, middle name found, and not to make too fine a point of it, but in order to find the middle name, you have to be able to read the first and last names as well. All of this read in this old ballpoint handprint, and then even more impressive, the ability for the AI to be able to read this as Kenneth James Zitter, find the James in the middle, all of it cursive. And yes, we do have a little warning flag here that this was only 85.3% confident. All of those of you who have done OCR confidences or ICR confidences or have dealt with this kind of text know that that number is highly confident. And I put a threshold of 95 here merely to be able to show you what that confidence level looked like. But again, this was our last example from the last webinar. And today we want to move forward and show you something that would be deeply tied to handprint. And I'll go ahead and pull up that second example for you. So our second example is going to be related to insurance claims. And the type of claims we're going to take a look at are death benefit claims. And as such, they're going to be filled out completely handprint. As you know, with those claim benefit forms being filled out, they're good. The call that constrained handprint would be to be overly generous, in that there's going to be a big box there, and the person who writes in it could print the information in there. They could write in cursive, and there'll be all types of information in there that we'll want to capture. Let's go ahead and take a look at those results. I've got 4 of these claims queued up for you. And to me, the first thing is to note, these things are classic handprint applications that would normally defy any type of automation. You know, depending on whether you're in the insurance vertical or if you're a BPO, you would normally take a look at a document like this and say, yes, I'm going to have to hire people to key these in. There's no solution for being able to automate these. But take a look. Not only are we grabbing first, middle, and last name hand printed, but the AI automatically has parsed those based on me telling it, I want the first name, middle name, and last name, reading the street address, the name of the city, the state, zip code, date of death, all of these pulled out, and the age. And again, these were all done with very simple AI prompts. Once I've walked you through these 4 documents, we can take a glance under the hood very quickly, so I can show you that all of these were set up by me just telling the AI these field names. I want these fields. That's all we did. No need to give it hundreds of samples up front, no weeks of training. This was a straight definition of these fields for it to find, and then running the handprint docs through. So again, more info here for the beneficiary. the stuff that always impresses me as someone with a deep knowledge of the technology is how well things like these dates are read with the slashes in them. Right here, 1/11/1991. Email information, difficult sometimes as machine print back in the day, reading this perfectly here as handprint inside of this particular application. Move to the second doc. And what I like about this, take a look here. Two very distinct types of handprint. So while this information is completely fictional, not all of it written by the same person, that tells you that the technology, of course, is actually reading handprint, reading it in line, and didn't have to be trained on a person's style. All of that is already baked into the platform with its millions of documents that it's been trained on over the last several years. So we're pulling out Billy T. Rufus, his address information, Testville being read as that half cursive, half print style. The numbers here out of the zip code 45010 being read, even though those O's are not being completely closed. Again, things that had you asked me just 2 years ago whether or not there was any good solution for, I would have had to have told you there was no such thing. Now, possible right now, right out of the box with ICC and its underlying AI reading and extraction abilities. We'll go to the third example. And let me jump down to where that page is. I think it's around 7. There we go. This one may be a repeat of number 2. Let me go down to number 4 then. Here's another set of handprint. And as these, different set of style, this is more cursive, but despite it transitioning over to cursive, take a look. Great results here. Michael G. Scott. We've got the address 250 East 5th Street. I love these combined alphanumerics that really highlights the power of the AI's ability to be able to read this. We got Cincinnati, Ohio, 45202. Date being read, age. Possibly a fan of The Office here with this name, Mr. Schrute. Relationship friend, 400 Broadway Street. Again, absolutely great results here with different numerical styles and different handprint, combo handprint and cursive styles, all of which without pre-training, and all of which are right out of the box here. No zoning, no templating, no code. These are the results that you can see with ICC. So I'm going to go over just to take a super brief glance underneath the hood on how that was set up.
Yeah, Ron, maybe while you're looking at that, let me just highlight. So that was 2 great demos Ron did. The first one, we spoke a little bit about the typical records and archives type of application there, where there is lots of data like that that's been put away over the years, but never been attempted to digitize. And what we showed you is a government application, but I'm sure similar applications such as within insurance companies, within banks, financial institutions, and so on, where the data is in a format which was not easily digestible, and hence companies, pharmaceutical companies, manufacturing companies, engineering firms, where you've not attempted to digitize that information and extract the value from that information in the past, right? And the second example Ron showed of the insurance claims process is a typical transaction processing application. And these transaction processing applications could be your customer onboarding forms, claims forms, mortgage related documents. All of these are applications or simple mailroom applications where you have some documents that are coming in handprint, and those are being treated today as exceptions in your process for complete human intervention. And you can see how you can use IBML Cloud Capture here with powered by generative AI to automate some of those processes with really high confidence and be able to minimize the humans in the loop and use the humans really for higher value purposes within your organizations itself. What we'd like to show you now is all of that. That all looks very set up, obviously. with Ron showing you documents that was already set up and read. So I requested Ron, hey, we can't get away with this just so easily, right? You need to really show how a application is set up. It's a little bit of a repeat from our previous webinar to show you how simple it is to set up, but you can also see here, it's not just simple to set up, but we're going to throw at it some handprint documents without any training and see, let's take a look at what that recognition would look like uh, itself. So Ron, I'm passing it back to you. Let's go ahead and set up a new application and
Okay.
give it some new documents.
Absolutely, Sushil, no problem. Here's what I've chosen to work on for you today, gang, and that is I have some little medical timesheets. They're in German, so there will be a couple things that I want to show. One, they're all completely hand printed, and two, one of the other benefits of ICC with AI is that it is completely internationalized. So not only can we do documents in English, we can do documents in any major language on the planet, and that includes whether or not those documents are machine print, hand print, or cursive. So I've got these medical time cards, and we're going to go ahead and just set up a really simple application with these. And my first step is I'm just going to create a new content type for these. So I'm going to go into my content connector, and I'm going to give it a new content type, and I'm just going to call them medical time cards. Just call them medical time cards. And I'm going to come up with some fields. So the fields that we'll want to pull off the little medical time cards will be, well, let's do a date. And then let's go ahead and do the name of doctor or clinic. And we'll do the customer number. Now, notice I did say the little time cards are in German, and all of my field names are in English, and I'm a native English speaker. So one of the things that we'll be highlighting here is the fact that we can deal with international documents, deal with them in our own language, and yet still have AI know what we mean and what to grab off of the card. So I'm going to say I'm finished. I'm going to save. There are my three fields. I'm not going to add any rules or anything to these. We're just going to leave these as is. Let's go up to, I forget this step almost every webinar. I now need to permission myself on these fields. So I almost forgot it this time, but let's go down here and we'll go to my content services connector, and we're going to zip down to my medical cards, medical time cards. Where are you? There you are. Give myself permissions. There we go. I'm so happy I didn't forget this time. And now we'll go up to Intuitive AI. I'm going to add a class. Add that class. And in that class, we'll name it medical cards. And I'm going to give it a tag. Med time card is my tag. Tag's how everything hangs together. And there we go. And I am going to go ahead and run down here to where it says medical time cards. There they are. Hit the little blue brain. That pulls in my three fields. So I know these dates are in European format. So I'm going to give the AI a little bit of a hint. And my hint's going to be capture the date and convert it from European format to US format. I think that'll be enough of a hint. That's all I need. Cool. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to enable the class. And now, without training in a single card, without drawing a box or a zone, without writing any code, you've seen me do all the setup for these three fields. I am going to create a small workflow. Add workflow. And let's see, I need to send it to AI. And I need to index them. I need to be able to see them. So there's my workflow, super short. And my tag was med time card. Okay. And I'm going to save as, and I like using the KISS principle. Keep it simple, sir or madam. So we're going to call this medical time card. My workflow tag is med time card. That's it. Med time card, spelled it right. Spelling's important. Close. And now I have an enabled workflow. So let's create a little upload job for that, and we'll be ready to drop these samples and take a look. I'm going to go to upload settings, upload profile, add a profile. You guessed it, I'm going to call it medical time card. I want to send it to the medical time card workflow. There you are. And I'm going to give it a description, medical time card. Upload only, save. And that's it. I've got everything tied together at this point. I'm just going to go down to upload. Find my medical time card upload. And let me go ahead and, hold on just a moment. I'm going to grab these I had here. There we go. There they are. I'm going to open those up. Upload all 4 of them to IBML Cloud Capture. And now we can monitor and take a look at these as they pop up. So just while we're waiting, one thing I do point out is that previous generations of AI solutions would be possible to try to read handprint, but would have taken hundreds of samples and many hours of training and retraining and interaction to be able to do handprint on just the application that you were working on. And one of the immediate benefits of ICC is that whatever type of documents you're working with, you will go through the process that you just saw me do of creating a content type, selecting the fields that you want, pulling that over into AI, giving it a little hint if you feel like that field isn't obvious just based on the field name. And then you're actually ready to begin testing and tuning before you can then move into production. If you're familiar with other offerings in the industry, like over the course of the last 30 years or so, this ability to turn around something like this quickly is nothing short of amazing. And our documents are ready. And let's go ahead to index all work items. Well, it said they were ready. Let's give it one more refresh. Do I have a filter on there? I have a filter on there. They are ready. Here we go. That's the beauty of a live demo, my friends. And then we'll go right to index. And here we are in the index panel. And let's take a look at our results. So up here under date, we had European style 1.12.23. That, of course, being December 1st, 23. AI has found that for us, grabbed it, and converted it just the way we asked it to. Here we asked for the name of the doctor or clinic. Art's name would be doctor name. We're getting the word clinic in the output, but I didn't put an AI hint on that. I could tell it to ignore that word, and that would be my next step. But we're getting here the handwritten name. I'm not even going to attempt Milkurite, maybe as that name spelled correctly. And our customer number, 107-225, grabbed there appropriately. Here our next item, we got 12-123 again. It looks like this may actually be Tinelli. It came out as Pinelli. When we put that AI confidence on there, I'm sure that would flag appropriately to show us that this is not a completely confident answer, but a really good read. And here on our number, 106-903, we've got overstrikes and scribbles here, and the one is mostly that leader rather than the descender. but yet great results. Here on this one, our doctor name, Weber. We've got 12/1/23 as our date, and our number 105821. Again, a lot of ascender and descender here on these ones in the European style. Handprint read accurately and appropriately. Let's take a look at Doc 4. Once again, 12/1/23. The word clinic, again, poking in, but that's easy enough to correct with a little bit more of an AI hint. We've got heart, physio, also read correctly here, beautifully. And our number, wow, 106414. Horrifying handprint and European numerals, but read beautifully and accurately. Sushil, I can tell you that I wouldn't even have been able to attempt this in any other solution I have worked in for the last 3 decades. You know, I didn't have to put my prompts in German. It's working with that mixed foreign language and handprint together. The handprint styles are various, right? It's clearly not the same person's handprint over and over. And again, read beautifully, accurately, with very little in terms of setup. My only AI hint was to ask it to convert these dates out of European format, which is day, month, year, into US format, which is month, day, year, and did that as well right out of the box. So, you know, for anyone having to laboriously sit there and try to key enter all of these, we can offer a really high level of automation, accuracy, and tied to that, some internationalization in that the language doesn't matter, and speed of setup. The hidden cost in our industry for advanced document processing has always been, how long does it take the tech crew to set these up? And with ICC, you saw me set this up in 10 minutes or so and get great results right out of the box.
Yeah. Thanks, Ron. Thanks for the great demo. So, folks, as you've seen, this demo, it's not about a prepared demo at all, where we were trying to show you some documents that we had already read and showing how accurate it was. You saw we started from scratch, setting up an application here. Ron did that, threw some documents at it, and saw the results. This is straight out of the bots results. I'm sure this is triggering some ideas for all of you if there are applications that you have not considered doing in the past because they were predominantly handwritten and was too difficult and too expensive. This is something for you to think about. Or if there are your transactional processing documents like customer onboarding, loan processing, or claims processing type of applications where you have one-off documents that are hand-printed or cursive handwritten documents that need to be recognized as part of the thing. Or you're even looking at some old legal contracts or other type of applications where you need to read this information to make your processes better, faster, easier, less human intensive, and so that you can use the human potential for higher value things within your organization. Talk to us about it, and we can show you a custom demo specifically for your documents and see if we can make it through before we suggest we go for it or not. I'd encourage you to do that. How can you do that? Let me share my screen here quickly. And simple ways to get in touch with us would be just come to our website and click on our Consultant Expert button, and it'll bring up a form for you. You can fill this form, and one of us will be in touch with you. This is one way to do it. But maybe some of you, or just email us back at events@ibml.com where you received the invitation from. We'll be monitoring that, and if you hear anything back from you for a demo, Ron will get in touch with you, or one of our team members will get in touch with you quickly. That's a second way. But if you're really shy to take that step at this point of time and want to try your own documents by yourself, we have another option for you here. If you go to our product section, go to IBML Cloud Capture, you will see you have the option to do trial the software. So this is just a limited version of our software where you can go in, feed it a couple of documents, type your own prompts for up to 3 fields, and test your documents to see if it works, right? If you're a little shy yet to get in touch with me or Ron, no problem. We understand that. Go ahead, trial our software here to convince yourself before we can do a custom demo for you. Looking forward to be in touch with you. Again, I hope this piques some of your interest and some use within your organizations. We'll be back again with a webinar. Hope, probably not next month because it's going to be the Christmas season and holidays here and in Europe and everywhere else. So enjoy your holidays. Just after the holidays, we'll be back with our next webinar. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us today. And this webinar will be available as a recording and will be sent to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.